All right, everybody, welcome in. Jump to Start Racing. My name is Wellington. Welcome, I guess, back. I'm here with two of my closest friends. Ruben, say hello.
What's going on, guys?
Yhancy.
Hey.
I like. Yes, you get more exciting.
So, guys, before getting into it, I just want to make sure that we mention our social media. The thing will come up on the screen. We are on all podcast or a lot of podcast platforms: Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, iHeart Radio, TuneIn, Stitcher, and we're also on YouTube. Hello, guys.
Yep.
You can see us. Twitter at Jump to Start F1 and Instagram at Jump to Start F1. Make sure to follow us. We do a lot of interaction there, a lot of posting and stuff like that.
Sorry, I'm a little
nice
excited.
shirts, nice shirts, guys. Nice shirts. Aside from that, yeah, I mean it's a nice, clean, new, better, improved setup. We're talking more to each other, right? I guess.
Change positions.
Well, whatever. On the video, change position,
Your faces.
etc. So, guys, make sure to catch us at Jump to Start F1 on Twitter, at Jump to Start F1 on Instagram, and then obviously on YouTube, Jump to Start Racing Podcast. So let's get into it. We didn't have a episode last week. We're coming into this week. There's a lot of things to talk about as it's race week, guys.
Yes, sir.
Yes!
We're finally back.
Yhancy keeps looking like a little kid in the meme.
Yes!
Fire coming out of your ears.
Got cars on track.
Oh, God. Yeah. So we need to go back. We did have cars on track before. We're coming a week after testing, so we could talk a little bit about that. Drive to Survive is out on Netflix. Obviously, guys, make sure to check that out for your dose of Formula One drama. And then beyond that, our race preview, we're going to do a little bit of testing. Ruben has prepared some questions. I'm extremely nervous as to what these questions are, but
You gonna stump us today, Ruben?
We're gonna try a little bit, but
I'm ready for the challenge.
I'll see how easy or hard they are, and then we'll make adjustments. I'll make a couple of changes on it. And that's it.
Who's your favorite? Who you think is gonna get it right? Is it gonna be B or Wells?
I think Yhancy's going to get it.
I think it's you.
I think it's going to be Yhancy.
I'm flattered.
So we're going to be competing all year, guys. We're going to see about trying to open that up to the rest of the public, see how we can get you guys to compete as well with us. But let's jump right into it. Testing. It was definitely testing. It was only 3 days. Some teams had issues. Some teams looked good. What did you guys think? I'm going to throw it to Yhancy first. Yhancy, what did you think was the best news story coming out of testing?
That Red Bull finally has their stuff together. We might get a title fight.
It looks that way.
Because Mercedes looks vulnerable.
We say this every year.
But this is why
But is this the year?
let's say I look at it as I came out so confused from testing because obviously we don't want to put a lot of onus on the testing, but historically the teams that come out on top on testing do very well during the season. Now, not that they finish on top, but they do very well during the season. But with Mercedes, when they look weak is when you kind of got to be scared because they always come back with a vengeance, man.
So what you're saying is like Mercedes most of the time do us like a rope a dope?
Yes.
No.
Yes, sandbagging.
No.
Yes. Rope-a-dope.
No.
Exactly.
That's like the perfect word to say. Right?
No,
Rope-a-dope.
I think you're giving them too much credit, even though they deserve a lot of credit. I'm confused you there. They're just very good at isolating their problems and fixing them. Not that they're doing it on purpose. I just think when they have issues, they come back and they just kill. So that's what I'm afraid of. Now, Red Bull, on the other hand, this is a evolution of last year's car. So the last 4 years, Red Bull has a problem getting off the gate and then they finish strong. So they always start on the back foot and they finish strong. Now, this car in particular, because it's the same chassis as last year, and they couldn't change much on the car, is more of an evolution. So they already had their time to work out all the problems, all the kinks, and they're coming out, guns a blazing,
right.
And they have a great driver pair now with solid driver pair, obviously with Verstappen and Sergio Perez.
So one thing that Formula One had posted, like a recap of testing, 6 winners, 6 losers of testing. Short pace for Red Bull, half a second clear of the field, right? So 0.5, whatever their short pace determination, right? I guess 1 lap, whatever. 0.56 seconds on Mercedes, 0.59 on McLaren, and then everybody else is just further back. So I don't know. They look good, and then obviously, who else also looked good to me, was a big surprise to me, was AlphaTauri. But that's because the whole Red Bull thing, I guess, between the two of them and using up less tokens between the two of them as a sister team. So
Well, they took a lot of the Red Bull upgrades, which
didn't cost them anything.
They didn't cost them anything
Because
they
they
didn't
have to spend tokens.
But they look good too.
But they didn't want the car though.
What do you mean?
I think they will offer the car, but they refused it, and that will cost them something. I don't know how much in that, but I kind
No,
of
because AlphaTauri's been very good at developing their own stuff. So, but they obviously they did make last year they did make an announcement that they're going to be more of a sister team than let's say a junior team.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously they're still going to be a testing bed for their drivers, but their car is going to be different.
So in other words,
I mean, they're gonna go their own development path and do what they got to do.
So in other words, the Gasly victory say, hey, we just need to push on ourselves more, and we make better.
Yo, but on top of that, right? On top of Gasly, the whole thing, Yuki Tsunoda looked good too. Like he put in, what was it? The Sunday he put in second or third by mistake for not knowing.
We have to remind him of the
put in
DRS limits.
He put in the second best time on day 3.
Yeah,
the
this
last
is in
one,
an AlphaTauri,
just behind Verstappen, with a Honda engine and an AlphaTauri.
I'm excited.
Honda did say that they're throwing everything on this engine and developing this engine to make sure, and it looks quick. Is it as good as Mercedes?
But they're still out.
We'll see.
Honda's still out.
Who had the worst pace?
Well, technically not. I mean, Red Bull is
joint venture with Red Bull.
Red Bull is going to take over the IP, so and nobody else can develop their engines after this year. So it's pretty good. We got to fight, baby. Whoa!
So who actually looked the worst coming out of testing? And I feel like this is going to be an easy answer, but it's a weird team to say.
Mercedes.
Yeah. They had issues.
A ton of them.
Come on.
Well, you still don't believe them, huh?
They had what? The gearbox issue day 1.
They had issues.
They had the least amount of laps, I think, off of day 1.
They did have the least amount of laps. Well, Mercedes had the least amount of laps at
altogether.
304. Aston Martin, right in front of them, 314. So, and Aston Martin also had the same gearbox issue as Mercedes.
Right. So, Valtteri Bottas was limited to 6 laps on the opening morning because of a gearbox problem on the new W12 car. So,
and that car looks so unstable. But come on, man, it's not worse than the Haas.
I mean, well, going back to what Yhancy said earlier,
the slowest.
They had 3 weeks to fix it. So who knows what they're bringing out now?
Listen, the
right,
slowest.
But remember, what you said, that they've always worked well under situations.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they got 2 weeks to fix. Do they have 3 weeks to fix it? I think they'll get it done.
I don't know.
Who the hell knows what they're coming back with?
Dude, remember Mercedes? Well, this was a different time, but Mercedes also I think it was 2 years ago, where they brought 2 different cars. Granted, they had 3 days of testing, and they had another 3 days of testing.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, they had one car.
That's right.
It didn't work.
Yeah.
And then they brought in a whole new car.
That's right.
And that one worked.
And that car
was that the Diva?
No. That wasn't the Diva, but that car was the blueprint for the pink Mercedes. And we know that car did pretty well.
Yeah.
Could have done better.
Could have done better.
We're going to talk about teams a little bit here. So we didn't really get to do our second half of the team preview, but what did you guys think of Alpine? The car looks amazing on track.
The color scheme.
Amazing.
The best livery by far.
No. You know what really looked good on track was the Williams.
Yeah,
So-
doesn't want that.
So, look, I get it. Yes, you didn't like it, but I think that it looked
on
phenomenal.
track, it looked better than launch day.
I don't know.
I
'Cause you
agree
were able to
with
see the colors more in the light.
The
and stuff
Williams.
Like that. Yeah, the
Yeah.
Williams.
I agree with you, but it's still ugly, bro. It's disgusting. It's like you can't even tell. It looks like a pixelated mess.
No, it doesn't. Get
No,
out
but
of here.
Yhancy knows about that.
Straight out of it feels like that car should be on the original PlayStation.
Wow.
It's ugly. It's hopefully it's faster, but
It
it's
looks better than a
ugly.
barcode on top of it, though.
I mean,
And that's what Ferrari had back in the days. Remember they had the barcode?
Wow.
you can scan it.
So anyway, what did you guys think of? I thought Fernando Alonso looked pretty good on track.
Yes, he looks like he's right on it. That
Which
car
is
looks
crazy.
good.
He's back.
Yeah.
That car looks good. I don't know. You know, Renault. I think Alpine. Sorry, Alpine looks like it does every year in testing. You don't really know whether it's gonna be good or bad. Last year they improved towards the end.
So you're saying the trouble normally comes when it comes to really push the engine and push whatever they worked on.
Yeah, exactly.
Meaning at race pace.
And honestly, they're taking a big risk with their aero, as far as obviously what they did was that they cleared out the side pods and moved all the intake and the airbox to the top. So you see the where the gearbox where the intake is it's a little it's fatter. So it raises that center of gravity.
Can I ask you 1 second though? Is that the like the technical like you gotta do this and do this? What you were just doing?
Yeah, that's exactly
The
my
air pods
viewpoint.
and the
we have the airbox up here. Wavy fingers. And then it looks, it spreads out. It looks a little fat. But on the bottom, it looks skinnier. And so all that air can go towards the back because obviously the most important part of the car is the diffuser. So they feel like they can get more of an aero gain, getting more air to the back of the car than having the center of gravity up on the top. Because usually you want all that slimmed down so the center of gravity is lower. So we'll see if that works out. The car looks good. Beautiful car. You obviously have Fernando Alonso, which is right up there with Ricardo as far as driver quality. So you're not really changing much on that end. We'll see what happens.
I think he's better than the Ricardo.
You know what? And they don't have any excuse as far as engine. They don't have to. They're building their own engine, and they don't have to supply anybody else. So,
what about Aston Martin had a little bit of a disappointing, but it's the same. This is what happens when you're a tracing point, like I guess an offspring, where you're tracing again Mercedes. They had similar issues as Mercedes, right? They had problems getting as many laps in as the rest of the field. What do we expect from them going forward?
I have no idea.
I think
Go ahead.
it's either they playing out the acting role they're doing is so good because they pretty much have the similar
Sandbagging.
problems. Yeah, the sandbagging acting role has been so good that they're like, hey, relax, guys. We don't need that many laps. Let them burn their engines. We don't need that. Or they're really worried.
I don't think they don't have the same resources as a Mercedes to get over their issues.
Well, they do.
Not as much as Mercedes.
They get it
though.
for free. They don't inherit it.
No, I
They're
got
buying
you.
it.
But remember that the two cars on the grid now after last year that have a lower rake, which is basically the height on the back, is the Mercedes and the Aston Martin. And Racing Point, which was Aston Martin last year, changed to that concept last season when they wanted to copy the philosophy of the Mercedes, which worked out for them very well.
Very good.
Now, we have a rule change on the floor in the back. So the whole point of these scrolls on the side of the car was to create vortices to keep the air under the car in. Now it's slanted back, so you have more air coming out. Now, the reason why they were so good aerodynamically is that they don't have a high rake, so they don't have to create such a big vortex on the side to keep the air in. But now, since you don't have that advantage anymore, it seems like the air is coming out. So that's why you see that Mercedes is a little bit unstable on the rear end, and it looks like the Aston Martin is the same way.
That's a problem for Vettel.
Big problem for Vettel.
That's a
That's
huge
big
problem. For
If they
Vettel.
don't get on top of that, that's going to be an issue.
Yeah.
Another Ferrari year.
Because
for Vettel.
Ferrari, as we all said when Vettel was a Ferrari, Vettel likes cars that have a stable rear end.
He likes junk in the trunk, right?
Yes, sir.
McLaren, they also looked really good. I would say, once the kinks were worked out, it was Red Bull at the top there. Mercedes looked good when they wanted to, let's say. But McLaren, to me, like Ricciardo was consistently at the top or near the top of if you watched during the testing itself, he would be at the top, and then like the other guys would put in fast laps at the end of the testing. So
that's what they got better.
Yeah.
They seemed really happy at the end of testing, the whole team.
Yeah.
Like obviously they didn't have like these jaw-dropping numbers, but
and the diffuser was pretty much like a surprise to people too.
And yeah, and they found a workaround in the diffuser where they can have those lower strakes in the middle. It's like you got to literally read these rule books and find every single loophole. And it's amazing that nobody even thought of it, because you can't have the strakes on the outer part, but you can have it on the inner part, and they have it. And it seems to work for them. The car looks good, and they have a Mercedes engine.
So it's Mercedes coming out with the new diffuser?
It's only going to be a matter of time before, if it works, for people to copy it, right? It's like the double diffuser in 09.
Hearing the experts, it seems like they can.
You're hearing me.
There you go.
Yeah, well, Wellington told me the other day.
After I went to my wind tunnel and tested it.
Yeah. After I asked him, Wells, when do you think that the other teams will be able to put that on their car? He said, well, in about 3 to 4 weeks. So we're going to wait. I mean, they have, 2 weeks before the first race?
Yeah.
So we will say maybe the third or fourth race, if that car looks good enough, some teams will be putting it on there and see what happens.
Once they start hitting Europe.
Yeah. So there you go.
Yeah. So
thank you for your knowledge, Will.
Yeah, no problem, dude.
Appreciate it.
Man, so we talked a little bit about Red Bull, but what do we expect from them kind of this year? Do we really see them challenging for a World Constructors Championship?
Yeah.
If it keeps going the way they were in testing, yes. They might take it. Look how they were behaving in testing.
I'm not going that far, bro.
They might take it, you think? Take it.
They might win who knows? They're there,
I'm not going that far. I refuse.
All right, so we should go back.
There's been too many times. There's been too many times where Mercedes looks vulnerable, and I'm celebrating because we can finally get a fight, and it doesn't happen. Right, so I'm traumatized.
Yeah, overconfident.
I'm overconfident.
Yeah,
dude, I would love to see it. You guys already know I love Max. I am a huge fan of the Red Bull organization.
You're a fanboy?
I'm a fanboy of Max and Red Bull organization. However, I just don't see it. When you have a pedigree of winning 7 in a row championships,
it'll be tough to determine.
That doesn't just go away, right? You still have essentially all the same person. There's not a lot of movement away from Mercedes, like staff personnel or anything like that. So,
well, if it's the team that's going to take the fight to them, it is going to be Red Bull.
Yeah,
the car looks good.
I'm very excited to see Checo there. I think that is the missing piece that they've needed. Somebody that can help during setups of the car itself, that can help, I guess, stabilize. I'm going to say it this way. Max is so passionate, and like sometimes you hear it on the radio, sometimes you see it after races, sometimes you see it after DNF. Having a Checo there is going to help kind of stabilize that garage, I think. I don't know if you guys agree.
Pick up the scraps that Albon was not able to do last year. Oh my God, what a point difference! What a difference in points itself.
We're gonna, talk about Drive to Survive, but the first few episodes, you see how important how detrimental it was to the team that Albon, even though he had his few high points last season, couldn't really fight up at the top with the Mercedes like Max was. So it was super detrimental, and they just couldn't keep up with them, even though Max was driving lights out.
Yeah.
And if Mercedes looks weak,
what do you
the Honda engine is better?
So here's what I think, right? They are going to benefit. So what we know about Red Bull is that they are really good at developing the car throughout the year, so that at the end of the year, there are tracks that we know them to be beneficial to Red Bull, like Mexico, whatever. But I don't know if we could say, okay, those tracks are better Red Bull tracks or if they're just the car is just finally developing. We know that they had a lot of issues last year with having the car work right. That was their own diva to begin with, right? Now they're coming in with the car under control. Max is comfortable. Checo obviously is going to take him a few races, but the car is not behaving the way that it was at the beginning of last year, right? At the beginning of last year, we still saw the battles between Hamilton and Verstappen, and we saw Verstappen consistently split the Mercedes, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Now, if you have a stronger car, a stronger driver, you're going to be pushing potentially Bottas further down the race. You're going to have a stronger Daniel Ricciardo in a McLaren. You're going to have people. Granted, I'm not anticipating the McLaren to compete with the Mercedes, but it's now on a Mercedes engine. There's going to be more people catching up, and it's going to be a tough fight for Mercedes in and of themselves. And then when you have a team as hungry as Red Bull, we'll talk about in the Drive to Survive, but Christian Horner is the master of mind games and trying to, I'm going to protest this and having Lewis Hamilton get a penalty right before the start of a race. He's going to be executing those type of maneuvers. And then his driver is arguably right now, his top driver is arguably right now 1A to Hamilton's 1 on the grid. And if their car is better, I'm excited to see what happens this season. Finally, maybe. I don't know. Hopefully.
You see why it's so confusing? It's like, and it's only 3 days of testing, so you don't really know who's who or what's what. This is gonna be fun.
So
I just hope it's not more of the same.
No, I don't think it will be. The defending champs, Mercedes. They're the defending champs, right?
Yeah.
They're the monolith. They're the machine. They are
the team to beat.
The team and the driver to beat, right?
Yep.
Does Bottas challenge?
I think we're going to get more of the same of Bottas.
The wingman, right?
It's not going to be Nico Rosberg style?
No.
You know that...
I don't think Mercedes would allow it.
That watching Drive to Survive...
I was going to say the same thing, but can we wait back.
Can we wait till we get... Actually, hold on. What's next on the outline here? Drive to Survive is next. So, go ahead.
So
now we're going to talk about Drive to Survive.
Yeah, a little bit.
We're be very tempted.
First of all,
we just started, this weekend.
We got to talk about the
shower scene or the
sauna scene.
The sauna scene. Plenty of
what
water.
in the world?
Episode 3.
Last thing I wanted to see was an F1 driver's arse.
Wow.
Okay.
But you do see a side of Bottas.
You see a side, yes.
You see that.
The back side.
Besides that
You see that
side.
side, yeah. Couple of angles.
Where because usually if you watch Bottas with the interviews and he's very very corporate, very Finnish.
Yeah.
He's very he's very straightforward. It doesn't seem like he has any emotion. It doesn't seem like he has that oomph, but you can tell what comes across.
It's Finland. So.
No, I got you. But what comes across during that episode is that he really does have that. He has the drive. He wants to win and he wants to beat Lewis. It just doesn't seem like he knows how. And if it's
frustrating is
that? And if it's gonna be any year that he does make that Nico Rosberg-esque turn, it's gonna be this season.
They actually, in that episode 3, so they were going through, let me take a step back. What do you guys think of the series in general, Drive to Survive?
I think it's dope. I think it gives us, because watching over the weekend now, right? It gave me a bunch of stuff from last year that were just pretty much gone over my head.
A lot of context.
You're like, on the shots, the graphics on it.
Yeah.
Some of these shots that they put off that we don't, most of the time we don't get to see on TV, they were phenomenal to me. The graphics itself as well.
It's great. You know why? Because as much as we follow Formula One throughout the year, and obviously follow it even more that we do this podcast because we love it so much, it's still compelling television. We still want to see it. Why? Because what you said. It brings more of a story to the story that we know.
Yes.
It digs deeper. It gives you that it pierces through the skin, and it gives you that deeper sense of what is really going on.
Episode 3, to me, both us talking so much, to me that was surprising too.
And
I'm like, whoa, this guy's
so-
really
And it goes the same
obviously
way.
Hamilton
Let's
probably
say
said no.
Christian Horner and how competitive and how he wants to just do these little things just to get under the skin.
So when we
It's something
think
that we never
about
saw.
Bottas, what do you think he thinks about the butt shots?
That's what he thinks. And I like that they did not bleep it on the show, by the way.
Oh, so when he won that race in Russia, he was actually talking about his butt shots.
No.
To whom it may concern, I'm showing my arse. F you.
So in general, we agree that it is it's awesome to see kind of behind the scenes, right? I much prefer this season to last season. I thought last season wasn't that great. I don't know what happened that made it not so great. It came out right before COVID, so you can't use that as an excuse.
I think first year they showed it. They made some arrangements. Second just showed, but probably went too far. Third season is super dope, and they're still not showing a lot of the private stuff.
It seems like they're not jumping around as much either.
Right.
Then the one?
They're not jumping around.
No,
as
the
much
episodes
either.
I think are more tailored per team.
Yeah. It's a per team, but it's not going way too far ahead. You get what I'm saying? Like before, it was per, like I think second season was they would follow each team. They would follow a team, and it doesn't matter if it was one of the last races of the season or one of the first races of the season. It jumped around too much, so it just gives very little context.
But they
of
did
the
that
story.
this year too. So like
Yeah, but
episode
I don't
3
feel like they're doing it that
went
as
to like
much.
Russia, which was, a few seasons into the. I think that what they
races,
did better was that they got rid of like some of the dumb story. Like they spent way too much time like last season with the whole rich energy and how, like okay, like that was funny, but it was like it's not anything that outside of Formula One, outside of being a fan, that you're not really gonna know about and you're not really gonna care about that much. You know, I don't know.
I mean, I think also all the stuff that they show with Horner and all that other stuff, so all that stuff was dope too. Like it was some of the stuff that was done was tactical. The announcement of battle because it was Ferrari's, thousands grand, whatever. All of that stuff to me was like, oh, I didn't look at it that way when it happened. Huh. Like the protest of right before the race, all of that stuff.
that was cool. That was cool.
All of that seemed like it was very tactical done.
The other thing is that
And
I
Horner to
think
me was the star of this season.
with Netflix, we have our very own F1 Madden Jinx. So check this
What
out.
is that?
So you know how you make what is the Madden?
If you make the cover of Madden, what happens is you are then jinxed for that year. So like
Gotcha.
for example, I forget like the most famous ones, but like Michael Vick was on the cover and then he ends up having a bad
Adrian
season, or you get
Peterson, I
hurt.
think.
Like Robert Gronkowski on the cover. The only one like
I never know.
what was it? Was it Tom Brady that was on the cover? I forget who was, or Patrick Mahomes was on the cover this past year. They made it to the Super Bowl, so like, but they lost.
but that was like the first time in like 20 years
Yeah.
or something.
that something
So-
didn't happen. Yeah.
So here's my theory.
Go ahead.
Here's my theory. My theory is that if Netflix is following you for your home Grand Prix, you're in trouble. Because look at what happened with Mercedes
Yeah.
when what were they?
The rain, the time it was
In
rain.
Germany,
In
when
Germany?
they had the throwback, the leader hose
Yeah,
in,
yeah,
and they had
exactly.
like the throwback livery.
The worst race of the year for them.
In. That was that
Yeah.
race.
Yeah.
That
Out,
Hamilton.
out,
Yeah.
Come on, man.
That Hamilton got the penalty.
And then this season, it was Ferrari at Monza, where Seb didn't even finish qualifying,
Yep,
so he started
brake blew.
17. And then that was a famous shot where his brakes went during the
And he
race,
just-
and he went through all the
Styrofoam.
foam.
Mhm.
And then
that was on the show.
yeah.
Yeah.
And during that same race was when Leclerc got into a huge accident, went into the barriers.
They do show that a lot throughout the whole
So,
throughout the episodes.
They actually
So we-
over dramatized that. Like
Yeah.
they put in stuff that wasn't. If you go on the Formula One Reddit, they had like a whole breakdown of like what he actually said on the onboard and what Netflix put in.
Well, I mean,
You got to
kinda
dramatize
do
it. It's
that.
got to be.
But
It's like Survivor.
that's my theory. DTS.
DTS.
curse.
DTS like us. JTS.
Yes. There you go.
Jump the start.
DTS curse. if they're following you during your home Grand Prix, you're beep.
Yeah. Yeah. So, Ruben, I think we're in the same spot. I'm like 9 episodes
Episode
in.
nine.
I'm like finishing
Yeah,
episode number 9.
I'm on like the 5th episode.
It's a much more entertaining season. The only thing is that, like, I don't know. I just kind of wish they focused a little more on the on-field action.
Yes.
So, like, for example, like, we had a lot of races this year that were just phenomenal, super entertaining start to finish. We didn't get a lot of that.
Yeah.
I think that if they focus more on that, it'd be, instead of the drama, it'd be way more interesting for somebody coming into Formula One than, oh, this happened behind the scenes, and this is the off track, and these are the contracts. One thing I did want to mention, though, did you notice Christian Horner's mustache? Did he color that thing? It looked like it's like bright orange. When he did
I did not even notice that.
go take a look. It's like really crazy.
I didn't notice
It's
that.
so it's so noticeable and distracting that like actually looks
You
like
got
like my hat.
Carrot
Like,
top.
Yeah,
Carrot top.
bright.
It was bright. It was
Mustache?
bright. For reference, I'm wearing the bright pink Ayrton Senna. Happy birthday, Ayrton Senna.
That's
We're
not-
recording on Sunday.
Is that a pink?
No, that's a bright orange.
It's like a bright orange.
It's a safety orange. But if you want it to be pink, go ahead.
Pink it is. Salmon.
Am I colorblind?
I have my Salmon Ayrton
Yep.
Senna hat on.
These guys love roasting me.
No, I also like this guy. Mr. Smooth
No.
Opera. They focus a lot on him.
They did hit that again, man, because that was such a. When they asked, he was talking with his dad, and they were going through. They were talking. He was talking with his dad, and he was like, "Oh,
And
they
so
asked
to
me."
do like a symphony there.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
stopped.
I stopped him. I'm sorry.
Killing my flow. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, so
Carlos Sainz?
he was talking to his dad, and they were asking him. He was talking about how they asked him, "Oh, what car do you drive? Is it a Ferrari, a McLaren, whatever, a Pagani?" I drive a Golf, and they're sitting like cracking up in a VW Golf.
No, I think because they also show part of the things of him signing with Ferrari, leaving McLaren, and the Lando Norris relationship and stuff like that.
Yeah, it was weird how they made it seem like him and Lando had like a contentious relationship, like rivalry.
Especially when on the swap episode.
Yeah,
you
I was
to
like,
like
that's
position and
that's
stuff
never
like
been them. And that,
Yeah.
but
that. At
that's
least
us
never been
knowing.
shown that way.
Yeah,
That's
that's
what I'm
just
saying.
us
Like they
knowing.
also give the Drives of Bite gives like a different outtake of what could maybe be going on, even though it's over dramatized. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would have loved more of Ham. Like I guess we don't get much.
Well, it's also
It's
Hamilton.
also the access that they give them.
Oh, how about did you see like the episode with Ham and Angela, your girlfriend Angela?
Oh my God. Come on.
No, I thought that was cool. Like when they were just in the car driving.
Yeah, they
to
were in
from
the car
place,
talking and
joking around. It's like, oh,
Well, it
he's
show-
actually human.
but it also shows that how competitive he is, and there was a comment where he's like, "Because we always leave last." And
Oh, yeah,
it's
'cause-
just
that was
how hard
the
he
day
works.
That we're
Yeah.
leaving, yeah.
The day of this, Bottas.
There you go.
He left afterwards.
There you go.
It was after Russia. They were like the last one to leave.
Yeah.
Because Bottas that day, I guess he didn't want to talk to nobody. I guess he didn't do much of the meetings. He just bailed
Must be
out.
nice.
Oh,
And
he
I
didn't.
like-
I think he didn't want. He didn't want to be in the. Well, it was COVID concern. That's what he said.
Well, that was an interview, but
Yeah.
also I don't know. It shows a lot of things about Bottas too. Where he lives.
Also,
river.
I thought the how Ferrari's so corporate when Sebastian
Oh
Vettel
my
was trying to
God,
joke
dude.
around.
Yep. Oh,
We shouldn't really be joking.
Shouldn't laugh.
Yeah.
What? So today is a no laughing day.
Our performance is a joke.
we shouldn't be saying that.
No, it gave me more of an appreciation for because
Yeah.
when
yeah,
you're watching
yeah.
a race, right? Because, and this is something that like when you watch like Last Dance with the Bulls, it's something that like the top competitors just turn it on, right?
Right.
And it's something that it's nice to see Vettel as a human who is just enjoying his day, like trying to joke around, etc. And then it's like he becomes the mirror of F1
Yeah.
right away.
But is that a Ferrari thing where they hinder you from being yourself, maybe, or
That's
or they
what
try to
that's what
take-
that's what they say.
that's what they
right?
showed there on
Yeah.
the episode. They looked
They're more. I mean, I think every team has that aspect, but Ferrari is more of that corporate. Be aware of
It's
your
like the
image.
Yankees.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it, obviously, because you have teams that are successful.
For
and
us too.
Ferrari
For us
is
it's-
the most successful team in Formula One history.
Wow. Okay.
But
okay.
But yeah, sometimes it can be a
For now.
killjoy,
us,
especially
there's
with a
something
guy
wrong
like
with
Vettel, who loves
It's a
to
killjoy
joke
for me
around.
to hear. Oh, the most successful. Blah 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 blah.
For us, there's something
Yeah,
wrong with it.
I mean, it is what it is. I mean, I should have worn my red hat so it can match with your salmon hat.
So, guys, let's talk about it. It's race week, finally.
Yes!
We're back. I don't know what drop Ruben's going to hit.
Gentlemen.
No, that's for a race review.
That's what
man.
it said.
No,
Race
race
week.
week, race preview.
Oh, my bad.
So, guys,
Yeah. Should have been that.
exactly. Yeah, do that.
That's for you.
yourself.
My bad.
So, guys, one thing that we're doing new this year. Last year we did the track maps and what they look like. This year, what we're going to do, as far as each race, we're going to do a little bit of trivia. So, our dear friend Ruben, the Formula One historian,
Oh, my God. That makes me even more older. The Formula One historian.
I've been waiting for this.
the Formula One historian has prepared some trivia questions for myself and Yhancy. Like we talked about at the top of the show, we're going to keep score throughout the whole rest of the year.
So pretty much I got 3 questions.
Hold on, but are we going to... Does anybody win anything?
Bragging rights.
Oh, no. A new jump to start. Sure. For next week. Another black one.
So it's the same thing. All right.
I'm going to think... We're going to have to wager something.
Yeah.
But we'll think about
We'll think
this.
about that.
So
Go.
what do I
We're
win?
gonna-
I know the answers.
You're the one that's got to pay.
Dude,
I gotta pay. I gotta pay what? Drink at the bar?
Yeah.
listen, you gotta pay to be the host, bro. You
Yeah.
gotta be the host with the
You
most.
got to pay to play, and you're the
Gotta pay
payer.
to play, bro.
Okay.
All right. So, as the Bahrain
You're the
preview,
dealer.
before we get into the history and the previous winners, all that stuff, Ruben's going to lead us into some trivia. I'm excited to hear what these questions are. So, go ahead, have at it.
All right, so let's go with an easy one. What year and who was the first? What year was the first Bahrain Grand Prix and who was the first winner they had?
This is the easy one.
That's the easy one.
That's the easy one.
That is the easy one.
What questions do you have?
No, that's the easy
So
one.
I'm gonna say, who was the first winner? What was the first year? I'm gonna say 2006 and Fernando Alonso.
Go ahead.
First winner I think was Michael Schumacher. That was 2004.
You got both right.
What?
Boom!
Hit the applause.
Okay,
Thank you very much.
it's still going for you, Yancy.
So 1-0 Yhancy.
All right, so let's go for a
spaghetti.
medium one.
Okay.
You guys ready for the medium one? That I feel is a medium. Name the constructor that has never won a Bahrain Grand Prix.
The singular. There's only one constructor of the. I'm trying to
Yes.
Of the
clarify.
current
of the
field?
current field that has
Yes.
not won.
Wow.
So we know Ferrari won. We know Mercedes has won. There's only one constructor that has not won. Do we have to take turns, or can we just blurt out the?
Go ahead, Yancy. You do it.
Haas. Have they ever won a
They
Grand?
they haven't won though. They haven't won in Bahrain.
Okay, that's what I have. Go ahead. Say it. It's not Haas.
Okay.
It's not Haas.
You see, you're the master, bro. Now you get to choose who gets his.
Wait. So it wasn't Haas. So what would Ruben put down?
I just got it up there.
Technically, I got it right.
No. Go ahead.
I would say Force India, Racing Point, Aston Martin.
Nope.
Oh wait, they won last year.
Yep.
Yeah.
I got the right answer.
What is it?
McLaren.
McLaren.
They've never won a Grand.
No, at
Hold
Bahrain,
on.
no. They also have never won
But the
at Sochi and Baku.
But did Haas win a Bahrain Grand Prix?
I guess Haas was not around when the question was put in the internet when I found it.
So I don't get a point.
No, you don't. Get out of here. That's another sad
What?
story.
Come on,
Who
bro.
the hell cares about Haas, dude? Haas
Yo,
just
guys,
came
you
in.
need, you
Haas
hey
just
YouTube,
came
you need to lobby for me. I
Lobby for
was
you.
right because the question was the team who's never won the Bahrain Grand Prix, and I got it right. 'cause
Yeah,
Haas
I
never
think
won.
that's technical. Wow, so Yancey's up 2-0 on me.
No, Jens. You don't get it.
Okay, all right. You're the better for me, so I'm not gonna. What's the next question here?
All right, so
YouTube world lobby for me, please.
nobody's doing that. So I got another question for you guys. 2014, right? Was the Bahrain Grand Prix is remembered as the duel in the desert, and it was like a back and forth battle between Nico Rosberg and Ham, right? Can you name the other driver that was in the podium?
Oh, What year was this?
That one sounded like a trivia question.
What is-
2014.
2014.
2014 Bahrain Grand Prix.
That was a
Remember
good
as the duel in the desert.
Oh man,
That one sounded like a trivia question. I feel like I was in a bar.
you're proud of yourself on this one, huh?
On this one, hell yeah. 'Cause I actually typed it the right way. Like, wait, let me give myself a pause.
Oh man.
So 2014.
2014.
What were the stronger teams?
You think that was the medium one or was it a hard one?
This is hard.
So I'm gonna say this. 2014.
I can see why you.
I'm gonna say Daniel Ricciardo.
2014.
Just say your name, yes.
Wait, man, because who was up there? 2014. Felipe Massa.
No.
Wow.
The answer is Checo Perez.
Get out of here.
What? Damn.
What team was he on? It was a McLaren.
Force India.
Force India. Wow.
I thought
I thought
it
Red
was-
Bull. That I just went with Ricardo because Red Bull was strong coming off of the.
But was Ricardo at Red Bull in 2014?
So this is another
He
question that I
was?
had. This is another question that I had, but I spoke to you guys of the show earlier regarding this question. This is like a hard question number 2.
Oh yeah, he was,
But it's
you're
easy.
right.
It's easy to pick out, by the way. So the 2010 Bahrain Grand Prix was Felipe Massa's first Grand Prix back since his accident in Hungary in 2009.
Yes.
Can you name the driver who raced for him while he was out?
Jesus.
He was with Williams, right? No, he was with Ferrari.
Ferrari already.
Ferrari.
Man.
Wow, this is tough. Bro.
Yeah.
I
All right, so
knew
forget about it
this.
because that was like
No,
an
no.
extra one. Come on, it's only 3 questions. It's 4.
I know, but this is.
Okay.
Who
Who replaced him?
No idea.
No idea.
Giancarlo.
Who?
Giancarlo Fisichella?
Yep.
Wow.
Damn it. And
And I think, and I'm 100% sure he
At
only
one-
did one Grand Prix was the Abu Dhabi. Grand
at
Prix.
some point in my
2009.
life, I knew this question.
Yeah, that's what I thought you were
when,
going to get.
when the race
can't-
happened.
yeah.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to get that, Yhancy, by the way.
So, the official tally is Yancey's up 1-0. Are we keeping track of each question and
If
the
you guys
score?
want to do that, I'm
or
just doing this. I actually,
No,
I
we're
actually
gonna
like
keep
it.
tally. I think I should have 2, but
Yeah, by the way, before this one, Wellington.
Is there an
told us the
appeal
idea of doing a
process to
trivia,
this?
which I think is awesome. I
Is
was
there- is there-
overwhelmed. Like, a trivia?
yeah, but
No, like
you did
no,
great.
it sounds like I was overwhelmed. Like,
do we?
but wait, listen to what I'm saying. When Wellington threw this at me, I'm like, damn, a trivia? How the hell am I supposed to pull this off?
This is good.
I even think a couple of weeks ago I asked you, a trivia? I never done that. Like the only trivia I remember is from bars and stuff like that, and I never done that. So I was like, you know what? Let me give it a wink at him. I did pretty well.
Do you
I
have
think I
a-
give myself some
Do
credit.
you have a drinking problem?
Listen, I'm gonna give you.
Sometimes.
I'm gonna give you credit on that.
Thank you, Jens.
I'm gonna give you credit on that, but I just need to know if there's stewards where I can appeal the decision because I feel like I got 2
You just
points.
lobby with the public. So let's see if they work for you.
Oh my god, I'm putting a Dave Chappelle.
What? Don't support me?
No, exactly.
Don't support Ruben?
Don't support me.
So, Ruben, take it away with some track history for Bahrain.
So pretty much we covered some of these points already on some of the questions. It was first held in 2004. 2011 was canceled due to protests. I believe we spoke about the human rights process because of the Bahrain authorities. Ferrari is the most successful constructor. Has better 2 wins. Massa has 2 wins. That was surprising to me. Also, another key thing that I found early was less than half of the 17 Grand Prix victories have come from a driver on pole. So 17 Grand Prix, less than half of that, the guy on pole wins.
Oh,
By the way, also just 7 have won from the front line. It's pretty much. So if not the first guy win, just 7 people have won.
Why
from
do you
second.
think that is?
Probably because I didn't do that homework.
high speed track,
Yes.
very wide,
A lot of
and a lot of
straights.
overtakes.
A lot of straights.
Yeah, and you can overtake. So
So
good. I enjoy Bahrain every year.
Bahrain is
Well, on
awesome
the-
track, even to
on-
playing the game.
Well, on the traditional track, but even on the oval, that race was pretty good.
The
last
Sakira
year,
Grand Prix was
too.
awesome.
Yeah.
They had a lot of drama.
Yeah.
The furthest back victory was last year, obviously, Checo Perez. And also that set a record for the first driver to win a Grand Prix after being last at the first lap.
That's crazy. Well, is it considered a Bahrain Grand Prix? The oval.
It was held in
last year?
Bahrain. It's part of Bahrain.
That's it's different track layout.
Well, because the Bahrain GP has also been named in the past the Sakir Grand Prix.
Oh, really? Huh.
Also in 08 was
The
Kubica.
track historian here.
Killed it today.
Damn it, bro.
A little bit.
Wow.
So
Had his Wheaties this morning.
in 08, I think that was the diner before. In 08 was Robert Kubica first ever pole. He never had.
At Bahrain also?
At Bahrain, yeah.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Also, 2010 was Alonso's first win of Ferrari, and obviously named earlier was the 2014 Duel of the Desert, where it was the battle between Ham and Rosberg. It was also the day
Who won that one? Was it
Hamilton won the race, and it was also the day that he equaled Fangio in Grand Prix victories. That day.
Fangio.
Oof.
Wow. Damn.
Oh, it was also the 900 Grand Prix held.
So as we talked about, COVID obviously took over last year. It was, Checo won Sakir, right?
Yes.
Bahrain, Hamilton won. I'm just trying to think back.
No, Sakir Ham was out.
No. Sakir is secure. I'm talking about just regular Bahrain at this point. Let's do a quick Google. It just happened, so it's like
2020.
Yeah.
Bahrain was the accident too, huh?
Grand Prix. No, that was at Sakir.
The winner was Hamilton. Winner was Hamilton. Second was Max Verstappen.
No,
Third was,
it was
Alex Albon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Bahrain was the accident, not Sakir.
Okay.
Because remember, Ham was actually there. In the Sakir, Hamilton was nowhere near.
We actually know Mercedes to be really strong on this track because of the fact that it's a power track.
A fast track.
It's a fast power track. So, question we always ask ourselves here. Going into this weekend, what do you guys think about predictions? Who's going to come out on top? Let's take one step back. Who's on pole position?
Testing.
Are we basing it off of testing or just
Basing
like a
it
winner?
off
Basing it off whatever you know.
Whatever you want.
Hamilton.
I think it's going to be Hamilton. I think that they're going to work out their issues.
It'll be a tussle between Ham and Max. Both of them get it. Wait. He might be. He might say that if he gets it.
It's gonna be Max.
It's gonna be Max.
It's gonna be
You think
Max.
so?
I think it's gonna be Max. I think that eventually.
You don't think Mercedes gonna fix all their kinks so quick?
No, I don't. I think it'll be too soon to fix it. I mean, maybe they'll be back by like the second or third race, but I think that Max.
I don't think so.
Got it.
When have you ever known Mercedes to not be able to bounce back or fix an issue that they have?
I know, bro, but I'm trying to be positive.
That's negative.
I'm trying to be positive because I don't want Mercedes to win anymore, man. I know it's negative for you because you guys are
saying why
Mercedes
not?
fans. Because we want a little bit more fight at the top. Last season was so good because we had such a great midfield battle. What would have been better if at least Red Bull and Mercedes were fighting for the top spot. That's what I was that was the only thing that was missing from last season.
A little front battle.
So
I think Max takes pole.
So I'm gonna ask you a question there. You said that the only thing that was missing from last year was a fight at the top.
Yes.
So are you talking about constructors or drivers?
Both.
Okay. I think you're gonna have a fight this year in constructors.
Yes.
Drivers, I don't think so. I think that Hamilton is gonna go in. He's gonna turn it on and see you guys later.
No, because Verstappen. No,
Hamilton's gonna use the
Verstappen showed that he can fight with Hamilton at the top if he has the right car. This year, it seems like he has the right car. Now, Bottas was able to come in second because he had nobody else. Red Bull had nobody else to fight him.
To fight Bottas.
Now they have Checo Perez.
Mr. Consistency.
Mr. Consistency.
And Mr. Tire.
Mr. What is it?
Dude, that's going to open up so much strategy for them. Holy crap.
Yes.
We didn't even talk about
exactly. Mr. What is it? Traction control.
Yes.
Yeah, automatic traction control.
Traction control. My man, listen, Checo is going to be a game changer because you're going to have last year it was 2 Mercedes versus a Red Bull. Now it's going to be 2 Mercedes versus 2 Red Bulls. We got to fight, baby. We got to fight in our hands.
So, all right. So I'm saying Lewis Hamilton on pole. You're saying Lewis Hamilton on pole. You're saying Max. Okay. Who's going to win? I'm saying Lewis Hamilton. Well, actually, let's go through the podium. Hamilton, Hamilton, Max, Bottas is my podium, with Perez fourth.
And fifth?
Fifth, Ricardo.
Whoa.
Max,
First.
Hamilton,
Mm-hmm.
Paris.
That,
Alright, so
the
we-
Red Bull's
so-
coming on strong at that point.
So I say it's going to be a toss-up between Hamilton and Max. So this is because of what I read earlier, that more than half have not been won from the front row. So I would say Bottas, Ham, Max.
Wow.
Bottas.
Playing the
It was
statistics.
to me, my brain it's a toss-up between Bottas or Paris. If Paris wins, dude, like the whole paddock is going to be like, oh my God, they were going to let this guy go?
The conditions.
I
have to
don't think
be
Paris
right.
is ready to win yet, by the way, because of the
No,
he
he's
has
not.
to settle more into that car.
Right. But
I
the
just,
car is
you know
better.
what? I just remember Bottas leading the Bahrain Grand Prix.
But wait, hold on.
And
Fourth, I would say then it'll be Paris, Ham, and then it'll be fifth. Not Ricardo. I would say Vettel. If Vettel was able to get on top,
in 2018, I remember Bottas leading the Bahrain Grand Prix and losing it at the end to Ferrari.
because of what the statistic I just read.
Yeah, but I think Max is
History doesn't lie.
Max is like Max is like I always Max is like Hamilton. Their head, bro.
Yeah. What do you guys think?
Out
So
of the 17 races, only 6 have been won for whoever's on pole.
what do you guys think of this?
So there's still a chance. They got a 50 chance, baby.
So you're
No,
saying
they
there's
got
a chance.
50-50, baby.
It's only 6.
Something that we did not even mention, right, is there's all kinds of changes to the cars and the regulations coming into this race, starting at this race. What do we expect?
Which is why I'm bullish on Red Bull.
Bullish on Red, because it's all aero changes, right?
Yes.
My mentor, Adrian Newey, the bald brother of mine, much older brother. I'm sure he's put in a ton of work. And if they're saying that, usually with his cars, it's like, okay, here's my aero, figure it out, make the car work, right? And sometimes it takes some time to make the whole thing work. And if they're saying that everything is figured out now,
Jeez.
That's the thing, man.
it might be a problem.
And Adrian Newey's pedigree is proven.
Yes, my older brother's pedigree, yes.
Yes.
Okay. Who did you have as fifth?
Family credit,
Who did
bro.
you have as fourth and fifth non-podium?
Fourth and fifth non-podium. I would say Bottas, then Ricardo.
Okay. And you, Ruben?
I don't. I know I said 2 people, but I just remember. I know I said 5th would have been better.
All right.
I
So
said earlier. It was so important with the 2 guys I said I don't remember. I remember 5th, which I said better.
guys, anything else that we want to add on to here as we approach wrapping up here?
Can we get racing already, man?
Yeah.
This week it can't. We need the weekend to get here ready.
Honestly, again,
It's race week.
I've never felt so confused going into a season because I don't know where anybody's at.
We know where the
Red
top
Bull
2
looks
are.
good.
The top 2 are the top.
Yeah, but I just want to know how far of a jump McLaren can make this season. It looks like they have third in control. Somebody has to come and wrestle the lot of them. But I also want to see how good Alpine is going to be behind them. Aston Martin.
Aston Martin.
AlphaTauri looks good too, man.
Wait. Go ahead, Jens.
Aston Martin.
We have to throw it out. We cannot go without it. And it's a good buy.
Yeah, but
So again, Yhancy?
No.
No?
We're good.
Okay.
So
anyways, but AlphaTauri looks good too, man. AlphaTauri looks good. And
Good enough to be top 5?
no.
And it's gonna be
I
a
think
fight.
that's-
But that's the thing. I'm not saying that they're gonna finish up there. I'm just saying it's gonna be more of a fight in the midfield.
One thing I forgot to mention. I gotta say this because I said it in our group chat multiple times. How much of a boss does Lawrence Stroll look like in Drive to Survive? When he comes in the first episode.
Hell yeah.
boom,
He looks like
You ever,
the Teflon Don.
have you ever Have you ever seen?
like
have you ever
Darth
seen?
Vader.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen the meme of the line walking you have a line of cars in a safari, and the line is walking through with the music?
No.
That's what Lawrence Stroll looks like. You got.
Man, he
I guess
just looked like
Drive to
such a
Survive
boss.
elevated him.
It's like there's like
status,
a
everything.
there's like let me just describe it. It's like a line of cars driving through a safari, and then you have this big male line just walking through in between the cars. Like
Good question.
We're gonna have to
walking
link to it in the
like,
show
what's up?
notes.
Was I the only one that took it this way that he looked like a dictator when he was giving that announcement?
The one where he's like yelling he's like yelling at all the competitors.
He just needs his medals,
Yes,
his stars.
he needed the military uniform. He needed the fake military uniform.
We are not cheaters.
All I'm thinking about is Coming to America with Wesley Snipes.
Yes, he needed that uniform.
He
No,
was
he
saying that on the side.
was like dancing inside.
All right. And guys, on that note, you can listen to us on all podcast platforms: Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, TuneIn, Stitcher. We're also on YouTube at Jump to Start Racing Podcast.
YouTube.
Hello,
He
everybody.
stumbled at the beginning. He should say it again, no?
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
so.
yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, see, I was laughing at Wesley Snipes. It's Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Stitcher, and TuneIn. Oh man. On YouTube, it's Jump to Start Racing Podcast. We are on Twitter at Jump to Start F1 and on Instagram at Jump to Start F1 as well. Make sure to follow us, subscribe, hit the like button on YouTube. Interact with us. Very interactive on all those social media platforms. Anything else, boys?
Let's get racing.
Yeah, it's race week. Let's go.